Chapter 4. Vows. Beneath the northern lights around noon, the doorbell rang. Lin Yie opened the door and was surprised to see Marta standing there. "I heard you were sick." Marta handed her a bag of fresh bread. "I came to check on Erica. And you?" Lin Yie awkwardly let her in. She hadn't expected a Swedish colleague to do something like this back in China. Colleagues rarely made surprise visits. "Actually, I'm not sick," she admitted. "I just needed some time to think." Marta nodded knowingly. "Trouble at work?" Lin Yie poured her some tea and briefly recounted her experience of being marginalized. To her surprise, Marta didn't show sympathy or surprise. "That's how the Swedish workplace is," she shrugged. "It looks equal on the surface, but it's actually conservative, especially toward foreign women. Did you know only 20% of the tech leads in our department are women? And they're all Swedish. I thought Sweden was a model of gender equality." "Models have to maintain their image," Marta scoffed. "Just like our welfare system, glossy on the outside, but full of holes inside." This conversation strengthened Lin Yie's determination to make a change. That night, after Erica had fallen asleep, she opened her laptop and began drafting a serious job application letter to a company in China. The sound of the bathroom door opening interrupted her thoughts. Eric came out, drying his hair. When he saw her laptop screen, his expression froze. "What are you doing?" Lin Yie took a deep breath. "I'm considering Professor Zhang's offer." Eric's face instantly turned pale. "So you're serious? You're planning to take Erica back to China?" "I'm considering all my options." Lin Yie tried to stay calm. "My career here has no future, and China now has the best opportunities in AI. What about me?" Eric's voice trembled. "My job, my family, my friends. Are you just going to throw all that away?" "I'm not throwing anything away," Lin Yie said tiredly. "But marriage is a partnership. I can't be the only one making compromises forever." "I've compromised a lot," Eric said, agitated. "I learned Chinese. I eat Chinese food. I put up with your mom bossing us around for 2 whole months." "You put up with her?" Lin Yie suddenly stood up. "She's my mother. She came all the way here to help me during postpartum. And you?" Their raised voices woke Erica, and her cries came through the baby monitor. Both of them stopped instantly. Lin Yie turned to go to the baby's room, but Eric stopped her. "I'll go," he said, suddenly calm. "You can finish writing your job application." That sentence hurt more than any shouting. Lin Yie stood frozen, listening as Eric softly hummed a Swedish lullaby in the nursery, a song his mother had sung to him when he was young, now passed down to their daughter, a purely Swedish tradition. In that moment, Lin Yie felt an overwhelming loneliness. She closed the laptop and walked out to the balcony. The night sky over Stockholm was clear and full of stars, but there was no northern light. She thought of that night 2 years ago in Kiruna, Eric's promise under the aurora, and her once unwavering belief in intercultural love. The next day was Saturday. Eric was gone early, leaving only a note saying he had taken Erica to the park. Lin Yie was alone at home when her phone suddenly rang, a video interview invitation from the Chinese company. She hesitated, then clicked accept. The interview went very well. Mr. Chen, the CEO, was especially interested in her international experience and even offered to help her apply for China's high-level overseas talent program. "We understand you need time to arrange your family matters," Mr. Chen said at the end, "but we hope to get your decision soon. The project is about to launch." After the call ended, Lin Yie sat on the couch in a daze. This decision would completely change the course of her life. Whichever path she chose would come with some form of sacrifice. That afternoon, Eric returned with Erica. To Lin Yie's surprise, he was also carrying a bag from a Chinese supermarket. "I tried making red braised pork," he said shyly, "using the recipe your mom left behind on the dinner table." The slightly dark-colored pork gave off a familiar aroma. Eric had also cooked rice and even clumsily set the table with chopsticks. Erica sat in her high chair, curiously grabbing a small piece of meat and trying to put it in her mouth. "Careful, it's hot." Lin Yie instinctively reached out, only to see Eric had already gently blown on the meat to cool it. "I downloaded some Chinese nursery rhymes," Eric said without looking at her, focusing on feeding their daughter. We can play them for half an hour after dinner every day. Lin Yu's eyes suddenly welled up. This was Eric's way of apologizing, not with words, but with actions, clumsy, but sincere. I had the interview today, she said softly, for that job in China. Eric's hand paused for a moment, then continued feeding Erica. How did it go? They really want me. Lin Yu looked directly into his eyes. But I told them I need to discuss it with my family first. Eric finally looked up, his blue eyes filled with complex emotions. What's your decision? I don't know. Lin Yu answered honestly. I won that career opportunity, but I also want the three of us to stay together. Silence spread across the dinner table. Erica slapped her plate impatiently, babbling incoherently. I looked into the Swedish company's China branch. Eric suddenly said, they have an office in Shanghai. I could apply for a transfer. Lin Yu's eyes widened. Are you saying you're willing to move to China? Not permanently, Eric said cautiously. Maybe a 2-year contract. That way, you can explore your job opportunity in China, and we can let Erica experience Chinese culture. If it doesn't work out, we can always come back. The compromise was so reasonable that Lin Yu didn't know how to respond. She had expected a heated debate over whether to stay or leave, but Eric had already been thinking about a solution. When did you look into the transfer? She asked softly. Last night, Eric said with a wry smile. After you fell asleep, I thought a lot about what really matters. Lin Yu walked around the table and embraced him tightly. Eric still smelled of red braised pork, mingled with his usual Nordic forest cologne, a strange but comforting mix, just like their life together. Imperfect, but real. We can give it a try, she whispered in his ear, and adjust if it doesn't work. Eric nodded and gently kissed her forehead. Like you said, marriage is a two-way street. It can't always be just one person making compromises. Outside, dusk was falling. Erica waved her sauce-covered hands and giggled. In that ordinary dinner moment, Lin Yu felt as if 3 possible futures were unfolding before her eyes, one in Sweden, one in China, and a third path still undefined. But for now, she knew only one thing: they were willing to explore it together, and that was enough.